Konnichiwa! Today we're going to be looking at my games room that I've spent the last 3 months tearing down and building up again. It's small, but it packs a real punch. Welcome back to Retro Gamer Boy, and in today's show we're going to be looking at my brand new games room that I've built from the ground up. If you're new to the channel, hi, my name's Mike. I'm a AAA games developer, but my passion is for retro video gaming. So if you love retro video gaming, then why not consider subscribing to the channel? And if you never want to miss an episode, make sure you click on the little bell down below. Now, video games have been with me in my entire life, ever since my dad introduced me to them back in the really early 80s. And since then, I've been collecting games and playing games. And as I became an adult, one of the things I really wanted was a dedicated room. And I got my opportunity when me and my wife moved from our first house into a bigger second house, and I convinced her that we needed an extra room for a study. Now, the big problem I have is, although I managed to score the room, it's the smallest room in the house. Literally, you can fit just about one double bed here and maybe 6 mountain bikes stacked next to each other. So it's a pretty small room that I've got to work with. So what we're going to do today is we're going to take around what I have done with the space that I've got, my inspiration behind it, some of the cool bits and bobs that I've managed to gather up over the years, and yeah, let's take a look. To start off with, we got the games wall. So I really wanted a wall that went floor to ceiling with games, because I'd run out of space in the old with the old setup. And so I went on the internet and looked for shelving that I could use, that I could really kind of customize the height and distance. And I found some really cool stuff from a designer. I've forgotten the name of it now, but it was really amazing. But it was going to cost me like £4,000, like $6,000 to get it in. So I looked around and I actually found, surprise, surprise, and I said I wouldn't do this, I actually found some IKEA shelving that did exactly the same thing. So this is what I've put in now, and it's really cool because I can have space for my Mega Drive games and for the Master System games, NES, SNES, PlayStation. I can adjust the height, which I've done here, and I really wanted the games to go around my main cabinet over here, just so I can have this absolutely huge wall of gaming. You can see I've got a ton of space over here now, so I can grow the gaming collection. Over here we've got some of the demo discs in there, because obviously you won't be able to see the games in there, so I kind of just backfilled them in there. And then I've actually got space underneath the bottom, so I can stack games in the bottom there as well. But I'm really happy with that. One of the things I couldn't do in the old games room was have gaming boxes up at the top there, so they were always up in the loft. And now I've managed to get the space to put the gaming boxes in, which is really, really cool. So this is my custom main cabinet, and I got this built like maybe 5 years ago, but coin op, so the coin op works, which is really cool. Then you've got option buttons, I have those all blacked out, and then all the buttons, Sanwa Sanwa joysticks there, all the buttons light up marquee. And all I have on my arcade machine, I got rid of everything that was to do with consoles, because I really kind of like playing that on original hardware. So I've got MAME on there with beat 'em ups, fighters and shmups. That's pretty much all I have on there. So at the moment we're running Streets of Rage Remake, which I absolutely love. I've managed to get my kids addicted to, which is very cool. And then we've got some figures on the top here. And then my relatively small Nintendo collection here, which I really kind of need to build up again. And I got plenty of space to build it up as well, which is awesome. Another thing I love about games room and retro games rooms as well is the kind of organized chaos of everything, things stacked on top of each other. And again, I don't have a huge amount of space here, right? So I went online and I found this company in Poland who build custom shelving. And so I approached them and put together a design of what I wanted, and then they sent this through. So this took probably the longest to come through, and it's probably the most expensive shelving I've ever bought in my life. But it was absolutely worth it. Everything is built custom, so you can see here the height of the shelf's enough to get my Super Nintendo, Wii U and the Neo Geo X. So I wanted that kind of height box in there so I could have those on display. And in terms of games, I have my Xbox, Xbox One, PlayStation 3, PlayStation 4 stuff in there, and then all my toys. Well, okay, a subsection of my toys here. So you can see there, this is all these big ones here, first for figures. So the Zelda figure over there, Tails over there, Katamari, those are all first for figures. Then my Mega CD and my Mega Drive. Absolutely love this combo, it's my favorite console. Missing the 32X though, that broke. So I've got to get myself another 32X there. And then obviously a box art there for the Mega Drive. And then I really like the Disney Infinity characters. I did like, the game was alright, but I really loved the figures and what they'd done with those. So that was cool, got that. And then down here, that's a test. Let's have a look. Yeah, this is the test kit for the PlayStation 3. Then we've got another PlayStation 3, PlayStation 2, Xbox 360. Then the Master System. This is the mixtape. So if you haven't watched many of my videos, I'll throw this up. I put one up about Master System covers. And this is, at the beginning they got a tune, and that's the tune from this mixtape, which is quite cool. And then behind here, I've got the TurboGrafx 16. And I think I got something behind the original Xbox over here as well. Let's have a look. What have we got behind? Oh yeah, so I got the original PlayStation 3 there. So that PlayStation 3, I got that 4 days before launch. So I worked at Sony at the time there, so we could get our PlayStations beforehand. We also got to register our gamer tag 6 months before everyone else, which is kind of cool. And then yeah, Little Big Planet. I love Little Big Planet. Well, I love making stuff in Little Big Planet. It's like games development. So I got all the figures, and I get those from the guys at Sony. Still send me those through. So Kratos, he's pretty rare. And then other figures that I like. These ones at the back here from a game that I made at Microsoft that we didn't end up releasing, but we had a 3D printer, so we 3D printed those, and then I did some modeling work and painted those up. So that was very cool. And then my Breath of the Wild special edition, and all these like little crooks and crannies down here I put stuff in as well. And it's something I really kind of wanted to have with this shelf, is to be able to fill it with just stuff. And then it carries on around here, and you can see I've got stuff around here, Final Fantasy press kit up there, more figures down the side, and then we've got some more figures down the side, and then my Zelda books as well. And that kind of jumbly, chaotic mess continues. So behind the door I have all my plaques. So when you make video games for Sony and other companies, they give you a plaque. We've got a standard one down there. That's when you release it, and then you get other plaques. So platinums for 1 million sales, golds for 500,000. That's a BAFTA award that we got for The Getaway. There's a double platinum there, another platinum. That's my 5-year award for Sony. There's a 10-year award Sony as well. That looks like a toaster. Move controller. That's for PlayStation Home. We got a famous artist to kind of build us this really nice, cool graphical piece of artwork here. And Eden Falls was the game that we were building at Microsoft, which we ended up never releasing, but it was pretty amazing. And those are all the signatures from the team who worked on it as well. Bit of cool art up there. Pretty famous, famous Japanese developer signed that. 10 points for anyone who can guess whose signature that is. I'd give you a clue. He directed Soul Sacrifice and also worked on Mega Man. And we got some cool stuff up there. And then on the back of the door here, I'm going to buy a load of marquees and just have marquees go all the way from the top down to the bottom. So the video wall was another big investment. So when I was a kid, I saw this advert from, I think it was maybe Nintendo. It could have been Sega actually. We had all these CRTs stacked up on top of each other. And I really loved that, and it's kind of stuck with me for forever. And so I wanted to do the same thing. And so I got rid of my CRT. I had this amazing CRT, but I got rid of it because I really needed this space. And you can see like the shelving doesn't go far into the room. It's really tight against the wall there. So it pushes right up against the wall there. So I couldn't have the CRT because that came out halfway into the room. And instead I got these flat panels here, and then got a splitter. I think it's like a 0 latency split I bought, and now I have like a video wall of all the screens on there. And again, I kind of just wanted to get that feel that I had when I was a kid watching those adverts. And then I built these acoustic blocks here to look like kind of pixels and 3D pixels coming out the wall as well. That took me a lot of time. My fingers hurt from doing all of that. But yeah, so there's that. Then I got my Mario on there from First Figures, wireless headset. So it's all very modern. This one here is a tablet. I usually kind of put the image of the game that I'm playing on, or have YouTube on, or whatever else on there, which is cool. And then underneath, PlayStation games, Mega CD games, PSP, Vita, my pathetic Dreamcast collection, which I really need to build up. And then in the corner there, in the corner over here, loads of demo discs as well. So I've got to get those. They're kind of just filling up the space. And then something I wanted at the bottom as well is I wanted to be able to put more consoles. I just wanted everything rammed. Like when this is full and finished, I want, you know, you walk into it and it's just like, whoa, this place is just full of gaming. As we move over to the final wall here, I wanted my handhelds, not all of them, but some of them up on the wall here. This glass thing over here, that's the Xbox One award that everyone got that worked on Xbox One. Down here, I don't know if we'll be able to see it, but down here this is unfinished, but this is where my connections for the OSS-C go. And we've got an HDMI cable which I can take out and just put in like a PlayStation 3 HDMI cable. And in here this will have eventually a female connector for a RGB, SCART RGB, so I'll be able to kind of just put in different consoles. And this is really important, right? So I have none of my consoles plugged in. So here are my consoles. None of the consoles are plugged in. So it was a real pain last time with such a small room to have everything plugged in. What I have now is, and this is my shame at the moment, this bottom section here, but I'll have these filled, these will be drawers, and what I have is all the cables that I need for each console and controller for each console. And then whenever I want to play, I kind of just set it down here like I have the Master System, plug it into the back along here, and then just put in the RGB cable into here and switch on the OSS-C, which is down there. And then I can play whatever console I want. And that's a lot more convenient compared to what I had before, when I had like 2 CRTs and was trying to fumble around the back of them and get everything plugged in. So I got most of my consoles in here. Still got stuff up in the loft. I just got to rotate them now. But I've got the majority of the stuff that I play. You can see that's the Resident Evil Special Edition of the GameCube down there. So that's my kind of console wall. And then I built this thing here. This actually goes in front of the window. So again, I wanted maximum space, and I hate the natural, I love natural light, but I hate natural light coming into my games room. So I built this wall here and then just carried the kind of pixel motif and 3D across to the window here, and just made it white so it kind of just blends in the walls. I've still got to put in some stuff around the edges here to kind of block off light that comes through there. And then I've just used the blocks as kind of little shelves. I've got Double Dragon on there at the moment. So Double Dragon is this is the first game I ever bought with my own money, my own pocket money. Double Dragon on the Master System there. And then I've got amiibos along the top there, and I'll kind of build that out. My signed Miyamoto Zelda over there, and then some more First for Figures, and then my very cool virtual reality headset here. This is just the which one was it called again? That's it, the Gear VR. It's the Gear VR over here. So my portable VR experience is over there. That's done. That's a bit of artwork done by a famous graphic designer. And that's the games room. So consoles, the console wall, and then I've got the game wall with main cabinet surrounded by a wall of games, which is awesome. And all the stuff along the top there, which is that I love. And I got my toys, more consoles, more games, then all my plaques, my lighting rig. Then the door, we're going to get that and cover that, make that look a lot better. And then we've got the video wall with more games. And it took me a while to plan it, but yeah, love it. So this is it. This is my games room, and I'm super happy with how it's turned out. It's a really small room. I spent a long time planning, trying to get everything right, get everything that I could into this space. And I'm really happy with how it's turned out. Took a long time to do, like 4 months, I think, from beginning to end, from planning to building it up. I had to neglect my YouTube channel for a bit while I was doing it, but I think it was absolutely worth it. Really happy with the wall here. Super happy the OSSC worked. If you haven't watched the video on me setting that up, I'll throw it up in the corner over here. But really happy with this. Love the video games wall. It's great just walking in here and seeing this wall of video games over the main cabinet. If you love retro gaming, then you should really be part of the Retro Gamer Boy community. You can subscribe by clicking on my little pixel head below. And while you're here, why not check out a couple of my other videos which you can find over here.